11, 2026, the eve of the 33rd anniversary of June 12. Tomorrow, we remember an election that never produced a president, but produced a martyr-in-chief, Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola. I would also remember a struggle that reshaped our civil society. But today we ask a harder question. Did we actually learn the security lessons of June 12, 1993? Or have we simply traded military dictatorship for a different kind of vulnerability? A vulnerability where election security is still weaponized and democracy survives on paper but not in practice. Well, good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Oyo State. I am Chike Obogu. 33 years ago, one election changed Nigeria forever. Not because of the votes counted, but because the democracy that was denied. June 12, 1993, the presumed freest and fairest election in the history of Nigeria, it was annulled. Why? And what does that say about security and democracy today? So on this edition of The Agenda, my guest is Otumba Segun Osowunmi, a strategist, former spokesman for the Atiku Abubakar presidential campaign, and the convener of The Alternative, a movement rethinking political participation. Otumba Segun Osowunmi joins us via the telephone this morning. Welcome to The Agenda, Otumba Segun Osowunmi.
Hello, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. And how are you too?
How is Oyo? How is Dominion?
Dominion is fine. Oyo is good. Thank you. Now, let's go straight to the core. I believe you followed me while I was going through that background. And we're celebrating this the eve to June 12, 2026, making it 33 years after that annulled election. So let's just go straight to the core. June 12 was annulled on national security grounds by General Babangida then, who's retired now. The argument then was that the results threatened national unity. So today, we hear similar language, security concerns. It has been used severally to postpone elections, restrict movement, or justify military checkpoints during polls. So, how much has changed, Otumba Osowunmi?
Well, first of all, I think it's appropriate to condole Oyo State, the government, the people, and everybody because of the unfortunate situation happening around the Ogbomoso corridor. They kidnap teachers and their students, and pray to God Almighty to bring the situation to a quick resolution and bring everybody safe and restore Oyo and keep the peace. And I personally also condole with the governor because no governor will be happy at this time with the challenges. Having said that, to the June 12 issue, thankfully we have gone 27 years in this democracy. And when you think back at the issues on ground then, the level of maturity in the country, what the democracy itself has become, you may tend to not be so angry that that election was annulled after all. Because if you watch the way the politicians are behaving, if you watch the way the parties are going about things, if you watch the way the people are feeling so unhappy, you try to imagine that this democracy that we are practicing, is there no need for us all now to sit down, reflect a little bit deeper, and ask ourselves, what are we really doing with this country and with this democracy? And if you recall, that's why I created the Alternative Movement as an advocacy platform for us to be thinking through the issues, how we're behaving, what we are giving energy to, how the world around us is moving, how do we look after the whole society. If we become a nation in a democracy, self-rule, and yet this level of brigandage and kidnapping is going on one side, and the kind of insensitivity on the side of those that have been given responsibility as elected and appointed official holders, you'll be unhappy. This is the fact that everything in life goes through some form of evolution. Everything in life goes through some form of evolution, and that when you start evolving, you will begin to deal with the consequences of how your society has either mismanaged its own history, its own culture, its own tradition, its own values, and that in copying other people's values as a result of the media, television, and what have you, you may find out that you may lose yourself. And if you lose yourself, you will deal with the consequences of things that are a little bit alien to you. We are Africans, we are Nigerians, we know our country, we know ourselves. North, south, east, and west, this is not who we are. We're not the people that like to kill each other. We're not the people that kidnap people for ransom. We're not the people that attack school. That's not who we are. And whatever has made this happen, all of us now must stop being too angry at government, because government is even part of us, and they themselves are also working very hard to be able to figure out a solution to a problem that is very strange and is stretching our security. And in the same breath, one must thank the security officers, because you must remember, officers like police, DSS, army, they are all people's children, people's husbands, people's fathers and mothers too, and they are the ones going out every day to confront this kind of ugliness that is going on here. So all in all, in terms of people having freedom, yes, they're giving them a lot of freedom, but in terms of the responsibility that comes with freedom, we have not managed ourselves well. How can we be a nation of fake news, be a nation of just...
All right. Okay. I think you're back now. I can hear you now.
Oh, couldn't you have me for some time? And I've been speaking.
Yeah. So I lost you for about 12 seconds there.
Okay, I just said anyway. To paraphrase the 12 seconds, I said the democracy is here. We have to improve on it. We have to continue to have faith with it, but it's not yet ruru. It requires a lot of reorientation on our part, a lot of readjustment in our attitude and our behavior, and a lot of application of consequence, so that people don't just do anything they like and get away with it.
All right. All right, Otumba. So basically, yes, democracy exists, but many have said that the security architecture around elections is still a tool for the incumbent. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think that the responsibility is with them. The buck stops on the table. The deployment of the instrument of state for coercion, like security, the resources of kinetic, that is the guns and what have you, is on their table. So to that extent, they have to take responsibility for whatever is happening. But to the extent of the type of unusual situation we're dealing with, where across the country, it seems to be that Africans, because I don't want to call them Nigerians, Africans are fighting themselves. We are fighting ourselves. We are killing ourselves. Is there international conspiracy that is manipulating things? We need to find out whether that is true. Are there things we can do with ourselves? Of course there are. Is there a need for us to find a way to ensure that we speak to ourselves in a manner that we change? Is there a way for us to reorganize our security and our intelligence? Of course there is. Is there a need for us to say, okay, gentlemen, if we are killing ourselves, who will then save us? If we are where we are now, and we are looking at things, and we have not found any white person. What I mean by that, we've not seen any Caucasian. We have not seen any Chinese. That is in our midst. We have seen only black people whose color of skin and color of eyes is almost the same. Okay, maybe small tribal names and small religious differences. And then the result is that the people that brought the religion, they are not killing themselves. Then we that were just trying to practice it will not be. I don't understand what our excuse is really. And I think that those in charge of the country needs to understand. The essential thing is that this country is very big, and our landmass is very large, and our borders are the way they are. And we have also taken upon ourselves as a result of the 1972 protocol of starting ECOWAS to mean that people can move in and out of our country anyhow. But we have gotten to a point now where we must speak to our neighbors. How are these people passing through your country? They are not doing insurgency in your country. Then why are they doing insurgency in our country? So it's a major reset. Major reset. This is not the time for business as usual. This is not the time for people to be just pretending as if they are busy when they are not. This is not the time for people to say that they have all the answers and not allow better people with better answers to come around the table. And this is not a time for political advantage of any sort. Anybody who tries to politicize insecurity in this country at this time should be arrested. There's no law that says that because we're in politics, people can just do whatever they like, increase the problem in the country, instigate people, call... No. The Fundamental Human Rights Document of the United Nations is one of the documents that makes controlling nations and managing nations very difficult. Other nations do not say, because of fundamental human rights, they're going to allow their country to be instigated towards violence, be calling people out every day to come and protest over nonsense, be assuming that non-state actors now will be given the guts and the capacity to just decide that their own job and their own role in life is to run all over the world and just be shaming the country, be demarketing the country, be instigating the country, be trying to say people should know now. If your country is like that, it is the duty of leadership to sit up and be very, very firm and non-apologetic and very bold in applying consequences. There are enough laws in our books to make sure that you don't tolerate nonsense. So if any leader is tolerating nonsense, it's all on him. It's all on him.
Okay, so let's delve now, Otunba Shogumi, let's delve now into the security architecture then in 1993 and now 2026, looking at the 33-year framework. And I'll be specific here. In June 1993, the National Electoral Commission, NEC, that was led by Professor Humphrey Nwosu, then conducted what observers call the near-perfect vote. Results were coming in, Abiola winning in all about 4 states. Then the National Security Advisor's Office then issued a statement. Boom, it was annulled. No court challenge possible. No court challenge was possible then because the military decree ousted jurisdiction. And then when you fast forward 33 years after, you now have the bimodal voter accreditation system, which is the BVAS. We also have the electronic transmission. We have a constitutional democracy. Yet, in 2023 elections, we saw glitches. We saw server disputes, and we saw some states where results were manually overridden. Now, the question I'm putting to you now is the security problem technological, or do you think it is human?
It's a combination of all. One thing you must all understand, and I pray that those of you that are on your personality, you will help us here. The first thing you should know is that as evolution in technology is taking place, the world is learning new ways of doing things. A few years ago, there was, even during digital, how many people even had a phone? Probably a few people with landline. The vast majority, there was no GSM. How many radio stations did they have? Perhaps the only ones that you have are the government-controlled one, with the exception of 1 or 2 others. As at that time, you also know that the television stations, you didn't even have the internet the way you know it now. And you could not, the communication was still easy to control, and people, the police the DSS can just jump into anybody's house and, just arrest them even for writing a crazy headline in a newspaper or any editorial. But it's too difficult now. It's as if 220 million people are all journalists, and that produces its own challenges. You have also started enjoying what you call skits, which is monetized madness, that people just do whatever they like, they carry rumor, they say things that are wrong and untrue. They do not do their own normal human being evaluation that what I want to put out is even correct. Have I searched? And it's very difficult. So governments all over the world are managing it. Nigeria is very lucky. There are nations in the world where they don't allow this much internet. China doesn't. Even in Dubai, they don't allow these WhatsApp calls and all of that. You don't do all that easily. All of these countries that are not allowing it, it is because of some of these challenges. But hey, we have allowed it because we want to be a free society. But that which has been allowed also demands that we ourselves we should be responsible. Or are we saying that we are happy that we are just making our country difficult to govern for those that are governing us, and even difficult to enjoy for those of us that are in the country? So bottom line is June 12 was different. In terms of the military architecture, of course the Nigerian military is a very strong military. They don't take any nonsense. The kinds of things that is going on today, if it had happened during the military era of either Babangida or even Abacha or even Abdulsalam, you people will not be in democracy. No sane person will allow the country to be all over the place and be saying that the next on the table is to allow some civilians who don't even understand how the command and control of security. They would have felt no, the country is not ready. Again, one of the things that helped June 12 at that time was the Babangida regime embarked on a massive reorientation. The National Orientation Agency, the DFRI, the MAMSA, the BETA, all of these instruments that was coming from the bottom all the way up sensitized the citizens to such a level that almost everybody was involved. The personality of MK Obala was also larger than life. Whatever rumor you wanted to say about him, he was not a government official. He had not been any of those things. So he was mostly not blamed for the problem in the country. But the ones that are claiming they are messiahs now, we have enough to show of when they were in charge of one thing or the other and the little they could do. So I think that June 12 is a date in our history. We have paid the price of it, and we have also done the sacrifices and the compensations. We have given it a day for constant remembrance of democracy and the struggle. We have acknowledged the president, the one who was alleged to be winning. We have done so much. Now we need to go past June 12. Nigeria cannot be a nation that stays on one spot. The same way we stood on civil war until we cannot even proceed with the hope of a new future. We should not do the same with the democracy. June 12 should be rested. We are dealing with other things now. And the issues that we're dealing now should occupy our minds with a view to coming up with what is a better solution. What can we do collectively? What can we do individually? What should the government be doing? What should we be demanding from them? What should we be demanding from ourselves? How can we be a nation where faith-based organizations like the mosque or Islam and Christianity will just consume themselves into near nuisances in the country? You listen to some preachers every day, they are the ones hearing from God, always bringing all sort of funny prophecies. Some of them stand on their pulpit and talk a whole lot of bunkum. Nobody's talking, and you listen to some of these Islamic clerics, they open their mouth and just scream and shout as if there's no government in the country. These are all the issues that is increasing our problem. You look at the people that are calling themselves civil society, they appropriate the goodwill of the people, and they now begin to consider themselves into a parallel authority in the country, calling people out every other day, even when they themselves know the issues do not demand such call out. So you see, we must make sure that we don't lose our country. And luckily we are in a democracy. We must also make sure that in trying to manage that democracy, we also understand that we, the human beings here, are the ones that are going to live with the consequences of whether we make our country good or we make our country bad. So in terms of the security architecture, whether it was a glitch or not a glitch, you must learn to understand that when errors take place, those errors may not be the defining a singular issue that has created the issues that we're talking about. When you go for an election is a combination of manual and electronic. It is extremely wicked and criminally wicked to say that just because one or two things happen, then that means the whole process was gone. Didn't accreditation work? Didn't the actual voting work? Didn't the counting work? If the transfer of the result was not, that was the one that people have issues with, yes, we should improve it. But what about the result that were written for you on paper? Who mutilated it? In some of these cases, the people that are screaming the most, they collected a very good result and they started mutilating it by themselves because of their desire for unnecessary and unending propaganda. The country is our country. We are the owners of the country. Even look at us now. We have found ourselves in a situation where people are even driving us from their country. Ghana is driving us. South Africa is driving us. Everybody is driving us. When we get to that kind of situation, we have to halt and say, hey, we are Nigerians. we can be better, we can do better, we can see some incremental progress in our country, and we must insist that our future would always be brighter than our past. So help us God.
Oh, okay. Now, with all you've said now, yes, we know we have our shortcomings. We know we're still struggling in some aspects and all that. However, we've made some progress. Should be told, we've made some progress. But what do you, or what should a secure democracy look like concretely? Looking at it from your own perspective.
God bless you for this beautiful question. I think the greatest challenge we have in this democracy, in my opinion, there are about three. The first is that we have not been able to understand how to build parties. Instead of us to build political parties that will be stable, we have evolved to a dangerous direction where everybody needs a party in his image. And that's why you look all around now, we're increasing parties every day, but it's as if we're not even increasing the conversation and the dialogue. All of them want a party in their image. People don't want to do primaries. People don't want to negotiate power. People don't want to share power. People don't want to, that's a major problem. In the former republic, when democracy was beautiful, the parties had some form of, if you like, ideology or some underpinnings that directed them. It was a bit too tribal at that time. That was why we said, okay, let us try and build handshake across the Niger and across the Benue. But what we have now is disgraceful. We need to go back. INEC used to help us with their election, with their party monitoring responsibility to ensure that political parties are set straight, not wait for them until they get to primaries and start telling them this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. They need to check so that we can, develop the right culture. That's the first one. The second one is that we're making the offices too attractive, and therefore everybody now wants to be in the political party. Nobody wants to serve. Everybody wants to be in the party. Everybody wants to be governor at the same time, even the ones that have nothing to offer. No strategic ideas, no brilliant hope, nothing. Just, I have money. Because of that, I can throw money around, and therefore I'm the one. And we're aligned the system to allow that. We need to stop that. We need to be more interested in people of ideas, because ideas rule the world. And then the third one is that we are a nation of people who over-litigate the process. We have taken our court systems now, we have overwhelmed it with court cases. Court cases. It's almost as if the court does not even do any other thing apart from political cases. That's a discipline. People come to form a political party together, and ordinarily they should be able to resolve their issues among themselves. But it will require a lot of discipline, because somebody that is cheated and truly cheated, should they not have a way to make him feel comfortable or compensated or even encouraged to have faith and maybe bear and for beer? But what we do now is that we have converted the court into the political theater, where we are doing all sorts of things just to undermine the process. And when you look at the results, it appears as if the only organ of the government that is working is the presidency. The National Assembly is a bit disgraceful. They are not doing their job as they should. The states are by one or two, maybe Lagos and a few others. Most of the others are just basically not developing the way they should. No nation, no state, especially the southwestern state, they could not have told me that they are on holidays when they were hearing that there's insurgency all over the north and all of that. And it got to Kwara. Whatever gets to Kwara, won't it get to Oyo? If it gets to Oyo, won't it get to Lagos? So when you have a security situation of this nature, you would have expected the governors who are subnational and the local government chairman, you would have expected them to take it a little bit more seriously. Over and above the fact that, yes, I support the idea of a state police, because right now we have gone past every other criticism that process carries. The bigger thing is that we must survive. Then look at us, we are not producing enough food. Land in the country by our law belongs to the state. It does not even belong to the federal government. And yet we are complaining that we don't have food. Can you tell me why we cannot insist that every local government should take a particular food item or two and cultivate land to produce it? So you see, we are not running the country the way we should run the country. We have imagined that private sector participation means that government will now no longer have business. Really, state-owned enterprises must also be encouraged to deliver on those things that may not be necessarily attractive to private sector. Otherwise, I don't know how we can think that complaining and screaming and shouting and saying that this president is not good, that president is not good, the next president is not good, will now be the basis by which we are going to plan for the future. And we are now attacking even the most secret thing we have in the Southwest, our education. Anybody that goes to kidnap children in school, it should be killed. Because that is not like it's not affecting today, it's affecting our tomorrow. And we have to be total about that. There's no negotiation, there's no sympathizing, there's no we are not sure. And it's unfortunate that it's not even one tribe now. Because before they were saying Fulani, I was warning, stop ethnicizing crime, call it crime. Because you're going to find out it's not only one tribe that is doing, look at the thing we are saying now. Even Yoruba people are joining to call themselves a participator, instigator, and all of that kind of madness. And it is across board. So if all the citizens of the country are now interested in that level of criminality, you know you need to have a very, very big hammer to squash everything. You also need a lot of reorientation. You need to get back to our basic and call parents to account for their children. You can't have a nation of 220 million people and you want it to fail. So long story short, we are in this situation. God will take us out. But we also must understand what is before us. And when it comes to election and voting, it is not enough for somebody just to come in and say, I will do this, I will do it, without asking how do you want to do it. The one that is sitting on the chair now, you can see the amount of work he's doing. With due respect to people who may be unnecessarily agitated and emotional. The president is trying. All the key indicators that you need to make sure that the country will be great, he's doing it. He's doing infrastructure on the level that is unprecedented. He's doing even your security. He's rewriting the protocol for you. You are hearing them bombing here, bombing. I think those things are easy. On top of that, he's trying to bring state police now, which has been on the drawing board for more than 50 years. Nobody did it. He's made sure that you guys don't have queue in your petrol station anymore. Yes, it's expensive, but you can buy. He's made sure that now your local government and your states have more money. Before now, your governors cannot pay salaries, they cannot pay pension, they cannot pay gratuity. There's no governor in Nigeria today that cannot pay salary as and when you guys think that is easy. And okay, he's saying it was the second time is eligible and appropriate for him. You are listening to some fools who don't have anything important to offer apart from just talking rubbish and just shouting that they can do better when they've not done better either before or even in the present. So I just want to encourage you, let people, allow them to talk. But make up your mind that progress is what you want for your country. And with every due respect, progress is the direction of what is presently going on. All hands must be on deck. Those who can pray should pray. Those who can walk should walk. Everybody should walk and pray. But we cannot be a nation that will be wishing that our country will not do well. Especially when we can see that other nations are even beginning to insult us. Okay, so if they insult us in Ghana, they insult us in what they call South Africa. We are hearing that even in Ireland now, they are beginning to go. The people are going around saying they don't want immigrants. Where do you want our people to go? When we that own the country are not even willing to make our country ready for whatever God is going to throw at us.
Okay, lovely thoughts there. However, Otumba Sowunmi, let's come to you now. You convened the alternative. Now, that's a movement that says Nigeria's two-party system has failed to protect the mandate. Is June 12 a symbol for you or a structural lesson?
No, I think that what I wanted us to do really, because I've been involved and I've really studied, what I wanted us to do is that I wanted us as individuals, even you as an individual, your family, everybody, I wanted us to have a great rethink that, okay, guys, what can we do better? Enough of this complaint. What are the solutions we can bring on the table? Okay, children of the poor, why do you feel helpless? You have numbers. What are you using your numbers for? Okay, the leaders in society, are you happy with the way things are going? So I wanted, it was a subtle desire for us to rethink so that orientation will be easy. Because when people are hardened in their heart and they've not thought about the problem, some of them may be even ignorant of what they are doing to everybody. It's like somebody that comes into your house in the night is your neighbor, when they will say he's eating cockroach instead of him to eat something better. You already know that when he starts vomiting or stooling, it will be a collateral problem for everybody in the house. So that's how you always say, let's go and do the orientation. And from the orientation, you'll be able to get people to see a different way. And then maybe when it percolates, and we also say, okay, can we do it better? Then we can then apply new strategies to make it, a lot more better for us. So what I have done with the alternative movement is to try to appeal to our sense of reasoning that we cannot destroy our country, and then in the process we will then begin to say, okay, let us now allow 2027 to come and go. So by the time 2027 comes and go, we would have had an idea that, okay, all this 1 million, everybody, Mr. Jack's party, Mr. James' party, Mr. Paul's party, it will all of them cannot work, so it will fail. When it then fails, we will then say, okay, now that it has failed, what is the next thing? Can we now begin to collaborate? So some of the ideas they are playing with now, like coalition and all that, they may be future ideas, but the people who are trying to push that ideas, they are insisting that they have to be the sole beneficiary of an idea that sometimes you may be the bringer of the idea and you may not be the beneficiary of the idea. Martin Luther King was the one that said he had a dream, and it was Obama that became the black president. Anybody who understands that life, it happens in season, will know that this is the only way and this is the best way. And may God in His Almighty continue to support and sustain me to be able to continue to be patriotic to the extent of defending Nigeria at home, abroad, anywhere, even in my sleep. And may God allow many and many more of you to understand that we don't have any other country that we can call our own apart from this one Nigeria. And that this one Nigeria is not a Nigeria that we can live without each other. Even if you said you wanted to have Yoruba nation, Igbo nation, you one person take to the bush for you, everybody's still going to have together and that we live like sensible people. Nobody is going from anybody. Nobody is going to that Yoruba land. Nobody is taking that stupid idea that are going to bring brand and pipe dream is going to work. So the earlier we understand that this thing
okay.
How do you want to drive them?
Yeah.
So we have to come to the
Otumba show me, yes, because of our time. Yeah.
That's my take.
Yeah. Otumba, because of our time, if you can hear me, because of our time, let's move, because we have comments. We have so many comments on our page, on our page right now. But let me push you a bit, and that would be me leading you back to 1993, where the security threat was overstated. Then there was no war, there was no insurgency. But today we have real threats. Terrorism in the northeast, separatist violence like you just proceeded some minutes ago in the southeast, and then we have banditry in the northwest, and then we have kidnappings here in the southwest. Now, one should say we should be worried. Many have said that this administration has gone all round, all the way from May 29, 2023 till date, politicking instead of governance. Do you agree with that assertion?
Well, I think that unfortunately, a presidential system is the kind of system where you are going to be working and politicking at the same time. Take the case of the American system. He's spending a lot of time on issues around war. He's fighting in some location. Does that mean that they are not doing something at home? Nigerians are just the people who, I don't know how we got to this level. I think it was as a result of the loss of the 1983 democracy of Awolowo and Shagari. The reason why I'm saying that is that before, Nigerians are optimistic people, or maybe their optimism have gone on for so long and they are tired. We have to find a way to infuse new optimism into our people. The government is working. There is no way you can run away from democracy. In a democracy, there's no way you can run away from politicking. But in spite of politicking, I've listed some things for you.
Yeah.
You that you are around Ibadan, have you not seen the work going on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway? Have you not seen the Benin or Shagami Road? Have you not seen the road going between Ibadan to Ife? Have you just what I'm saying? These things are going on. Have you not seen that your governors have more money? Have you not seen that your local governments have more money? Have you gone anywhere around Oyo State and found queues? Have you forgotten how we'll be running up and down? People wake up at 4 o'clock, go and line up in petrol stations to buy fuel. These are no more. Have you forgotten how it used to be? Now, yes, the challenge on the table is security, and it's a very serious challenge. And I'm not excusing the presidency or the federal government or even the president himself. What I'm saying is that that type of problem that we're having with insecurity, it does not go away overnight because of the pervasive nature. So we have to open our eyes to be a bit more beautiful. You have to have beautiful eyes, so you will even see good around you, and maybe you will see opportunity if you change your mind. But if you sit there in one place and you're shouting, your country is not going to hand, yes, what are you going to do about it? You're going to have an opportunity for another election to come and vote. When they call you out to vote, okay, tell me the people that are talking that they say they want to be president, which of them resembles the presidential material that can even solve the problem on the table now? Have they not been governors before? What great idea did they put on the table when they were governing? Have there not been other things before? So sometimes you need to calm down. You need to get the citizens to calm down. You need to educate them. You need to instruct. You need to show them stuff. You need to try to say, okay, let's even engage these people. What is this one even saying? What has he ever said? Ask him, what are you going to do about the security? It will turn to audio. Because the problem is not that easy. You say, oh, I'm going to shoot them, yes. Is it not the same soldiers you have that you're going to instruct? Or are you going to, as commander-in-chief, you'll be stupid enough to think that you can get to the war front and go and start fighting when you are not trained to be? Even the Buhari that was trained to be, did he go there? That's not how the world works. Okay, food is expensive, yes. If you are not growing food, how will it not be expensive? Did I not just give you a model that there's no reason every local government in Nigeria cannot be made to adopt one or two products that they can grow? Are they not the owners of the land? Okay, you are telling me what's real areas? So I think that what we have to do is that, and also don't forget that the entire world itself is going through stages. Our friends that live abroad, they are complaining very, 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 very bitterly. Very, very bitterly. They are complaining very bitterly. Some of them are crying, some of them are telling, and when you even ask them, what's the problem? They say, there's no job, the salary is not carrying them. So, but you won't see that. Because you don't have that kind of, you will just see them on their TV, they'll be showing you America is dancing. You think that's how they live every day? In America, somebody can wake up in the morning and just get crazy, go to a school and shoot people. It does not happen like that here, which we are dealing in our own. There's no part of the world that will not have one crisis. Even the almighty China is fighting to make sure that it can reform its economy. I once asked the Chinese leaders, I said, is everybody in your country happy? They went silent. Because you can't have 1 billion plus people in the country and be telling me that all the 1 billion plus people are happy. So I said, well, they are not all happy, but they are trying to do small things. I said, what about the people in your rural area? They said the wealth has not gotten to that level, but they are trying. The point I'm making in essence is that you all must accept that nations are going to be built in stages, step by step. Your education, your access to internet, your ability to be online is not an excuse for you to destroy your country. It's not. As a matter of fact, if anybody comes to destroy your country, you should shout him down. Because the person that is opening his dirty mouth to want to destroy Nigeria, ask him which other country has he created for you to. Is it Ghana? Ordinary next of Ghana, they are telling us to leave their country. Should that not give us a wake-up call that we don't have any other country but our own?
Well, succinctly said. Let's get straight to our audience right now, reflecting on June 12 and security. We have this one from Tunde in Lagos. And Otumba, I would also love if you could react to some of these comments here. Tunde from Lagos is saying June 12 was not just an annulment. It was the moment Nigeria's security services became a political party. They have never resigned that membership. How true is that, Otumba?
I think today is not truly aware. The circumstances around June 12, sometimes the things you see on the surface is more than the one you don't see. Your leader who did the democracy up to that, but do you know whether external powers were the ones involved? Or do you think that they will come and tell you that France or England or America is stopping him? They won't say that to you now. They'll be battling with it. So sometimes things are not as they is, as you think them to be. If today, assuming we were in a military regime today, and they were planning to do transition, do you think any military officer today will allow this set of Democrats to continue? They are quarreling too much, they are shouting too much, they are fighting too much, they are disturbing themselves too much, they are going to court too much. If not that we're in a democracy, won't they change it? So the point is that what was available in 1992 suffered the challenge of 1992. And General Babangida has not even recovered from the negativity of that era. But you can't go back to undo it. And And we have overcompensated for it. We gave Obasanjo presidency because of that. A lot of people have used June 12 to be the basis for them to be in charge of our country because of that. We have recognized the family. We have even given the day a public holiday because of that. There has to be a time in history where you say, okay, we acknowledge this date in history, but we must move forward now in hope of the future because we need to create another thing that is better than what it was before.
All right, Grace from Ibadan here is saying, we talk about 1993 as if MK Abiola was the only victim. Over 100 Nigerians lost their lives protesting the annulment. Democracy has no memory for martyrs. That's Grace there.
God will bless you. Thank you very much for that. That's part of the reason why I say we have compensated enough for that family and the man. It is because the cost of that June 12 struggle is better told or better imagined than told. People who participated have a lot of June 12 stories, and some of them have scars, and some of them are not even alive to tell their story. But the one that we used as a symbol of that movement has been compensated a lot. We've given him a day, he's respected, he's a martyr. It's like Buhari. If Muhammadu Buhari did not become president of Nigeria, people would have been saying, if Nigeria had given it, they've given Nigeria to Buhari, people will give the country to him. Okay, what's the result? So sometimes every occasion for reflection should be used to reflect, but stop over romanticizing the past, because some of those characters in the past, if they were the ones to manage the present, they would have struggled. The world has become a different place. You don't have socialism and capitalism anymore. Everything is capitalism now. So where are the ideological underpinning? The almighty Russia that was very great then has been reduced to a person that is fighting Ukraine for so many years cannot finish it. It's this same world that we are, that they are fighting Iran for so long and they can't even seem to defeat them one way or the other. So when the world is like this, you have to be a little, it's not the same world that we are, that they've almost driven France away from all the saxophone country.
Yes.
These are all serious issues that have implication everywhere. So when we talk about June 12, yes, we should talk about it as an ideal. We should talk about it as a charge to improve on the democracy, because the whole essence of June 12 was to do democracy. Okay, we are 27 years in that democracy now. How far? Are people happier?
Well, Dr. Ahmed from Abeokuta is sending this one here. He says the biggest security failure of June 12 was not the army, it was the judiciary. No court dared to speak. Today, judges still hesitate during election petitions, and he's asking, is that silence not a weapon?
Well, the truth of the matter is that the judiciary, however beautiful the name you call them, they are also part of the citizens of the country. So whatever it is that is eroding the confidence and the character and the values of the citizen, it may be slow, but it will creep into the judiciary one way or the other. And we, all of us, we are one family. It's like one large piece of material. It's getting dirty from everybody's side. So the best way to clean it is also to start washing it from everybody's side. Nobody can tell you clearly that the judiciary does not have a lot of reform, cleaning up, renewed integrity, weeding to do. They have. But hey, if you have not even finished weeding the politician, how easy is it for you to weed the judiciary? If you have not finished weeding criminals, how will you weed the judges who are going to pronounce people guilty or not guilty? So the evolution and the revolution that we need here is a mental one. Not all that nonsense that our friends are doing all over the place today. They will call people onto the street. They will just be disturbing everybody. They won't let people breathe. You cannot implode Nigeria. An imploded Nigeria is a catastrophe that is better imagined but must be avoided. The conversation on the table must be, how do we improve things? We know the law, we know the rules, we know the opportunity, we have the card, we have the voter's card in our hand. When it is time for us to go and vote, we come out there, let's hope that we'll take the right decision. You look at the election as if it's only the president. What about your National Assembly? What about your State Assembly? What about your governors? What about your senators? What about your reps? Are they not the people that will form the government? You have a National Assembly that is unalive to its responsibility. They just sit down there and they play. You are having insecurity to this manner. They've not done anything significantly to even show that the issues are on the burner. All they do is laugh and play and joke and clown about. They are having a challenge with even the funding of the country and the budget and with debt. Have you seen them do anything that is clever, creative, and reasonable the way you will expect from an assembly? We're having a challenge of, okay, we want to do state police. Do you know how long that has been on the drivers on the books? It's been on the books since before the Awolowo. The police structure we are using was given to us by white people. Do you know how many years ago they've left? Do you know how big our country is? We have not still been able to be brave enough to give ourselves a multimodal, multi-structured police that can help us. And yet, we have a National Assembly who's supposed to be worrying about this thing. Do you know what it takes to even restructure the country? You better give Bola Tinubu some credit. He's helped you able to create Zonal Development Commission. If your governors are not quite irresponsible, they can use the platform of that Zonal Development Commission to drive zonal agendas in all of the zones. Because what is priority for us in the Southwest may not be priority for them in the Southeast. But he has given you an agenda, a platform for it. What are you doing with it? All they talk about is money, 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 money. Even the money when you give to them, what do they even do with it? You are sitting in this country, elected officers are riding Maybach in public. We have gotten insane. Even when the military was here, you dare not ride a car that is more than the designated official car. People are saying they are in government. Their only job they've done is government. You be a former this, former that, and yet you are seeing them shoving money in our face, demobilizing the people who are working hard, and you expect it not to be normal. Our kids are giving title to criminals, and you expect it not to be normal. What are we expecting? Whatever you put into a country is what you are going to get. And so when people like me come and tell you, let's find a better way, let's find an alternative way, can we find a different way? Can we do it differently? Can we just do it more reasonably? I think all of you two should give voices to it. And you all can be alternative where you are. Be a better husband, be a better father, be a better teacher, be a better everything, and all of us will be happy for it. Why should people be running other country very well, and we are also human beings who cannot run our own country? What makes them think that they are better than us?
Well, Otumba Segun Sowunmi, I would have loved us to have just continue with this discussion on and on and on, because this concept of the alternatives has to be, it has to permeate deep down to the grassroots and to everyone in Nigeria. Well, time won't permit us, but I would love to be part of the alternatives. Let's have an alternative for good governance in Nigeria. Thank you so much, Otumba Segun Sowunmi, the convener of the alternative, for featuring on the agenda this morning.
God bless you so much. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, that's the agenda for today. But 33 years after June 12, we know one thing: democracy without security of the vote is a beautiful lie. The annulment was a crime, but the greater crime will be to remember it only with speeches and wreaths, not with structural change. I am Chike Ubogu. As you mark June 12 tomorrow, ask your leaders, who secures your vote? That's the question. Who secures your vote? Good morning and have a great day.